No, of course not. Yeah, they're a totalitarian state. So
Could you ever see something like that happening in America?
it'd be interesting. I don't know. I mean,
I couldn't see that happening right now. Yeah, well, it's happening in America.
So this is JP. He is a genius at exposing hypocrite liberals. Hilarious. All right, let's take a listen to this.
What do you think about like countries like arresting their political candidate?
Well, if they've committed crimes like Trump has, then I'm for it, because no one should be above the law.
Wait, Trump's committed crimes?
Yeah, obviously. I think he's guilty of many crimes. I think that's, one of the smaller crimes, the taking national security documents and putting them in his house.
Oh, yeah, when he had him in his garage with the Corvette.
Okay, you're full of shit. So.
Oh, you walk away?
Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, and Satan shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, a freedom fighter, one of the things they do is they shine the light on truth, even if that truth is in you, covered by a veil of brainwashed hypocrisy. That's exactly what we're going to see today. Brilliant dude, Shaney Rich, exposing hypocrite liberals. Now you can see Shaney Rich. This is his Instagram. He does a ton of man on the street videos, and we're going to see a little political theme where he's baiting people in like something Trump does, baiting them in like, hey, this is something Biden did. And they're like, dude, that's awesome. And then he reveals, no, Trump did this. And then you get to see the hypocritical like polar ice caps in their brain melt, or he'll talk about a crime that Biden did as though Trump did. And they're like, oh yeah, that's evil. And they're like, no, that's actually something Biden did. And it's like, whoa, I don't know how to process this. When they brainwashed me, they didn't tell me how to handle this scenario. So I think exposing truth, one of the things we do in this show is expose lies, hypocrisy, and corruption. So exposing truth by using a sort of consciousness to slice through hypocrisy, something I love to do, and I think Shaney Rich does it brilliantly. So we're going to take a look at a series of short videos in his repertoire of work. And I think I said that word incorrectly. Let's take a look. Repertoire.
This was super crazy. I don't know if you saw this, but in China, they just arrested the leading political candidate.
Doesn't surprise me.
Not at all, right?
No, of course not. Yeah, they're a totalitarian state. So
could you ever see something like that happening in America?
it'd be interesting. I don't know. I mean,
I couldn't see that happening right now. Yeah, well, it's happening in America.
Don't rule it out. I don't think so. Not like overnight anyway.
Oh, did I say China?
Yeah.
That did that? Oh, sorry. I thought I was talking about Xi Jing Biden did that.
Xi Jing Biden?
Yeah, to Trump because he's in New York in trial.
But what'd you say? Xi Jing Biden?
Yeah, Xi Jing Biden. Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
An American can be so blind to not see the political persecution. Yeah, that could happen in China. That could never happen here while it's happening here. And then the other thing, we'll watch the rest of this guy.
Sorry, Xi Jinping. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Duh. It's like, how do you not get it? You're muted.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's like Xi Jinping. I was like, how do you not get it? Like,
yeah,
he's making fun of Biden.
Yeah.
Hello, girl brain cell. Please.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, it's crazy. The very thing we condemn other nations for doing, we're doing to Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
In practice, we are. Mm-hmm.
Reacting, but you see he's not focusing on the facts after he's been kind of like exposed for being blind, being a hypocrite. He's just focusing on the small little comedic idiosyncrasy of Xi Jing Biden. I think it's pretty obvious what Shaney Rich meant by that, and it's the most insignificant point of the whole conversation. The dude on the street is just latched on to that. My guess is so he can avoid further conversation for how he was so blind and Hippocratic. Does that make him a doctor?
Of the White House?
Xi Jing Biden? Is his first name Joseph?
No, Xi Jing Biden. From that, he's the resident of the White House.
Man, you're not going to trick me up like that, brother.
He already tricked you. Now we can take a look at hypocrite liberals who are being told that Trump is calling for Biden to be removed from the ballot. That is wrong. Then when they're told, no, Biden's done that to Trump, we get to see what happens.
I don't know if you saw, but Trump is actually calling for Biden to be removed from the ballot. There's been no convictions, but these unelected Supreme Court judges are trying to remove Biden from the ballot, which I think is like extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Oh, for sure. That's an extremely dangerous precedent. I mean, there's been no convictions. There's been nothing illegal done. So there's no precedent for removing him. And it's
Oh, this is so good. This is so
They
good.
they set themselves up so much and so easily.
You know what I think about? I'm not sure if your mind goes there too. You remember the story of David after he committed adultery?
Mm-hmm.
And Nathan was sent to him to say, hey, man, there was this guy who had a little sheep, a little lamb, and he nurtured his lamb and da-da-da-da. And there was this other man who had everything he needed and took that man little lamb and then he used it. And what should be done to him? Oh, he deserved to die. He's like, and then Nathan the prophet went like, you are the man. And I thought it's such a powerful way to get the truth out of people by not telling them the full story. So it kind of left a little bit of context out of there and then get them to expose their true heart. But with the fact they hate Trump, and this is also what's showing they hate Trump so much, even though what's happening to Trump is wrong, they're allowing it to happen. But what they don't realize, they're setting a precedence here for this to be done to them in the future, which is never good. And, unfortunately, the pendulum always swings on the other side.
How's the saying go? It's when they came for this group, and I didn't speak up, and they came for this group, I didn't speak up. When they came for that group, I didn't speak up. But then when they came for me, there was no one left to speak up.
To speak for me. Yeah. So true.
mostly just to appeal to the fan base. But either way, it's a pretty dangerous thing to do.
I feel like that's like a similar tendency to Hitler,
Yeah.
Like if there was a conviction, that'd be one thing. But like I always say, why don't you let the voters decide?
Which, by the way, that's genius. How that's similar tendency to Hitler, where he just got her to walk deeper into the hole.
Why would you want the candidate who's leading in the polls to be removed from the ballot so you would have an easier chance of winning?
Oh, for sure. And then to be fair,
For
I
sure.
mean, that's the whole premise of democracy, is that the people decide who they want to represent them and the policies they want to represent them. So to just completely disregard that and go based off of, oh, well, I think he should be removed, then that does lead us a little bit closer to authoritarianism and fascism.
Girl, she still hasn't picked up on that. She
just keep digging. Get that shovel, keep digging.
It's amazing.
And honestly, hold on before you start again, Zach. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just the public school system has failed everybody so bad that they can't think critically for themselves, and that's what the problem is. Yeah.
But you can see the brain on MSNBC on display because it's kind of
this is your brain on CNN.
Yeah, they're just repeating the talking points without considering what they are really saying. They're not. It's like they can only see so far. They can only see like they say, can only see past your nose because you don't realize, like, oh, by the way, this is actually happening to Trump right now as we speak. There's a gag order on the man where he can't even. If he violates that, he's going to prison. Yeah, in America. Yeah, not China, not in some fascist communistic country. No, we're talking about in these United States. This is what's happening.
Yeah,
and you're supposed to close your eyes to it as if it doesn't matter until it comes knocking at your door. It's crazy.
Then that does lead us a little bit closer to authoritarianism and fascism.
What if I told you that was actually Biden that just did that to Trump in Colorado?
You also have to consider the nuance behind what is being investigated.
She was quick to just be a hypocrite. Well, you got to consider the nuance.
Certainly. If they have enough to have a conviction, then sure. If
there's been no convictions,
they don't, then they don't.
They don't have a conviction, but they just did it to Trump.
Yeah.
So how could you support Biden knowing that they're doing that to Trump?
There's the taking of all the classified documents.
Biden also stole classified documents too. And they had him in his garage in the Corvette. He had him at the college at the Penn State. So I feel like everyone has taken classified documents.
Not to mention the fact that the documents Biden took, he took while he was a senator. He wasn't even president at the time. So, I mean,
He had no clearance for that. Yeah, that's even worse. So,
And it's come out now that, in case anybody doesn't know this, that all the photos that were released to the press were all photos that were set up by the FBI during the raid.
Oh wow.
They were all faked photos.
Oh, they set them up really nicely and then took pictures.
As I believe I sent you a video saying I called it.
That is crazy.
I called it. I called it how long ago? That the photos were faked and set up when they did the raid.
No, we did say that. We did say that.
Yeah.
The way they had them, they even threw them on the floor. Yada yada yada. Yeah, people. We did say that.
Just saying.
Just a thought.
It's like a rules for thee, but not for me is what it seems like against Trump, you know?
Not exactly. When you consider the amount of interference when it comes to like Russia and foreign policy and everything like that.
Oh, you mean how that? But that was debunked. But that was debunked though. They said Russia. It wasn't. Do you not remember how Adam Schiff got censured for lying about it? There was never a conviction for Russian interference.
Just because there isn't a conviction does not mean that there isn't sufficient evidence.
Do you not remember?
By the way, she's holding a mask. Let's take note.
Do you not remember the Steele dossier though? The FBI lied. Hillary Clinton campaign paid the FBI to lie about the Russia.
Either way, there needs to be a line, and that line is something that has to be determined by the public.
Yeah, I mean that's why Trump's leading in the polls. You know, over 60%, and then they want to remove him from the ballot because they know he's going to win.
Full circle.
I don't know about that, but
You don't think so?
no, I don't.
That was masterful. By the way, I'd imagine his job of like selecting on the street, like who do I interview? How do I know if someone's liberal? Well, do they have pink hair? Are they wearing a mask? Or even more scientifically, are they holding a mask for protection? It's actually pretty easy to judge books by the cover when it comes to who's voting for who. Cowboy boots? Cool. Probably Trump, maybe Kennedy. You look like a man who can bench press 110 pounds or less. Biden.
What do you think about like countries like arresting their political candidate?
Oh, this one's good.
Well, if they've committed crimes like Trump has, then I'm for it because no one should be above the law.
Wait, Trump's committed crimes?
Yeah, obviously.
What crimes has he committed?
This isn't real then. He's literally got 91 indictments. You don't know about the obvious information.
He doesn't know about the obvious information. He knows to say obvious information. We'll get back to our discussion in just a second, but first I want to tell you about the number one thing I do to improve my sleep. Because after all, nothing affects your mood and your energy more than the quality.
This is really good. All right, let's move on.
This next guy, he's really good. He's really funny.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta unmute the video.
Back to our discussion.
Maybe you know, because like you said it with some strong conviction, right? So like maybe you would know the answer.
Well, he's currently on trial for a criminal case for trying to pay hush money to a porn star.
I could have sworn that like Stormy Daniels signed a letter saying she didn't have sex with Donald Trump. And then I also thought that there was like a statute of limitations, like in our country.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It's in trial right now.
So do you think he's guilty?
I think he's guilty of many crimes. I think that's one of the smaller crimes. The taking national security documents and putting them in his house.
Oh yeah, when he had him in his garage with the Corvette.
Okay, you're.
Oh, you walk away? Huh. They always walk away.
That is so epic. Oh, you say had him in his garage. He knew who that was. It goes to show the hypocrisy and also the dishonesty that's going on here. Is like Trump gets to be treated. All the books get to be thrown at him. But Biden gets to be treated with kid's glove, He gets a free pass. Hey, it's Biden, man. He's a nice guy. It's like a double tier system of justice. It's not really.
It's like look in the mirror, bro.
It's not good. And this is why, again, like the person asked earlier, this is why actually Trump is winning. This is why is in a good place right now. He's gonna win the more they keep doing stuff like this. It's gonna work in his favor, So Even while Trump is in the courthouse right now, his numbers are still up. There was a video, I think I did it the other day. CNN kind of, they pretty much spelled it out, pretty much like, yo, Biden is still, Trump is still winning. There we go. Even while he is behind bars, not behind bars, but literally being
litigated against.
Litigated, yeah.
New CNN polling showing Donald Trump maintains his advantage over President Joe Biden in a national survey. And the interesting numbers also suggesting that absence is making the heart grow fonder.
Donald Trump maintains his lead. Here it's 49% among registered voters to Joe Biden's 43%. If you compare that to your question about movement to where we had this race in January, it's basically the same. Then it was 49% for Donald Trump, 45% for Joe Biden. That difference for Biden there, it's well within the margin of error. So that.
Yeah, the reason is the same because he's not allowed to speak and campaign. And the fact is still the same. It shows that the people are still standing with him. So that means whatever you guys are doing is still not working.
And yet he still finds time to go out and campaign.
Yeah. And even while he is doing that, you consuming his time with a thing that it's not even going to work. You're consuming the man's time, yet his numbers are still stagnant. He's still great. But the only person who's going to lose numbers here is Biden. Trump got such a strong base. All the other candidates that are coming in, whether is it RFK, and there's another one coming in.
RFK Jr. is pretty much the only other legitimate candidate in this race.
Yeah, there was a lady that I heard recently, but anyway, I'm not sure how long that's gonna last. But he's gonna take votes from Biden. He's not gonna touch Trump's base. Trump's base is not gonna just like I listen to RFK. I like the guy. There's nothing really he's telling me that's gonna make me say, "Oh, I'm gonna vote for you."
Yeah, there's nothing of substance.
I will make a YouTube video. That's as far as I go. I will affirm some of that messages, but I'm not gonna leave my support for Trump because of RFK's message. Like it's not impressing me in that way. So the only person who's gonna lose votes is Biden.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much what most of the people who have talked about polling has said, that if RFK is in this race and it's a three-way between Trump, Biden, and RFK, all it's doing is pulling votes away from Biden.
Absolutely. So this is a Trump versus everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just similar. And if Trump was able to dominate as much as he did doing the Republican earlier this year when he won pretty much among all the Republicans, he's gonna dominate even more among Democrats.
Honestly, Zach, I don't trust RFK to be VP. I think he's okay, but not as VP. No, I do not trust that. I think that would be too risky for Trump.
Yeah. I did a video. I'm not sure if I can make reference to it too quick. And I think in that video, he lost all credibility with my eyes when it was about anti-Semitic laws. And then the question was asked whether or not he feels like there's too much allegiance with the United States and Israel. Yeah, the answer was epic. Yeah, there you go, right there. Yeah, it was epic. I didn't realize Israel has in a number of this to that of a thing it is, and now people are asking the questions like,
the level of who have concerns about the level of Israeli influence in our politics here in the United States of America.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a politician in political office, so I don't see much of that.
For as long as.
So, what does this tell you? He's not America first.
No.
That's all you need to know. You think this man doesn't know? You really think he doesn't know? Like this man knows very fine details about, the jab, right? He knew information that I'm like, yo, how does he know so much about these things?
Because he's a Kennedy. Kennedys are well connected.
And then you don't know the level of influence that the JEWs have in our politics. You don't know videos like this were published.
As I live, for as long as I have the privilege of serving in the Senate from New York, I will unflinchingly, unstintingly, and with all of my strength be Shomer Yisrael, a guardian of Israel.
The first bill that I'm going to bring to this floor in just a little while will be in support of our dear friend Israel, and we're overdue in getting that done.
And no one has done more for Israel than you, Lindsey, Senator Lindsey.
I thought this was a joke, but it really is not.
Lindsey Graham is a snake in the grass. And so is Chuck Schumer.
Is this a meme? Because you can't be this bad. What about the United States, buddy? I mean, gosh.
Lindsey Graham, he is a stalwart champion of our alliance, and we have no better friend. So I want to thank you for everything you've been doing over the years.
I have said to people when they ask me if this Capitol crumbled to the ground, the one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid, and I don't even call it aid, our cooperation with Israel.
Let me explain something about what is called the Jewish lobby in this country. In the first place, Jews, understandably in the United States, because of what happened in World War II, because of the Holocaust, are going to put first priority on the survival of Israel.
You've also said that Congress is an Israeli-occupied territory. Now, what do you mean by that?
I said on the McLaughlin Group in response to a question, Jim, they said, do you think that the Congress of the United States will resist this demand for further aid? I said, threw out a crack I'd heard. I said, no, the Congress of the United States is Israeli-occupied territory. What I meant by that is the most powerful lobby in Washington, which Congress can't stand up to, one of the most powerful, is certainly the pro-Israeli lobby. It has gotten its way in this town year in and year out. And I don't think the automatic votes of the Congress of the United States for $3 and $4 billion worth of aid to Israel are necessarily in the national interest of the United States. And that comment, which is to ridicule the subservience of the Congress of the United States, is perfectly valid.
Israel. This shows you it's been going back for decades.
Listen, man, the commitment is deep, bro. It's deep. It's deep. And I'm in no way saying I have an issue with Israel, as you might think. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is America first. That's what I'm saying. Once we take care of our own, then we can help other nations as much as we possibly can. This commitment that they have with Israel,
and we're talking about the people of Israel, not the government of Israel.
Yo, is crazy. It is too much. That's all. Let's move on.
Good. Man, we're all hypocrites. The difference is, do you have the self-awareness to know it and therefore own it, or do you let it own you? That guy let it own him. Here's how I can have a rational conversation when you point out my hypocrisies. I will walk away and call you full of poop. Now let's see what happens when a Trump-hating liberal endorses Biden's Remain in Mexico policy and secure border policy. That was actually Trump.
You saw, but Biden's actually signed some recent great legislation for the southern border. You saw what he put into place, right?
I did. Yes, I did.
The Remain in Mexico policy and Title 42.
I'm vaguely aware of that. Yes.
Then he ended catch and release. So like if undocumented, because we're not supposed to say illegal, if an undocumented immigrant crosses the border and commits a crime, they go back to their country of origin and then await trial there instead of waiting in America.
Yeah.
Well, and Biden also started like building the southern border wall, like to secure the border. I couldn't think of any president within the 21st century that's put those policies into place.
Right. No, he's been really aggressive as far as he could be.
What if I told you that those were all policies that Trump actually put into place and Biden reversed on his first day in office?
Well, okay, I know that Biden has deported way more people than Trump.
Biden way more immigrants than Trump ever has, undocumented.
Yo, when you don't know, you don't know, man. Just say you didn't know.
Right.
Oh, that was epic the way he did that. That was amazing.
You just throwing egg on your face at this point, man.
Yeah. He said, really? I didn't know. I was lying this whole time. I acted like I knew something, but you don't.
Well, illegal, I guess.
They're not illegal.
But if they come across the border without following the laws in place, aren't they illegal?
All white people, all of our ancestors are immigrants.
Or did you assume my race? I'm not.
Dude, I love that he's now playing the race card against the guy who caters to the race card.
Assuming you're race.
Oh, I'm not white. That's like extremely
Okay, well-
offensive. Did you mean to offend me right there?
No, I didn't.
Could you apologize?
No, I'm not going to apologize.
That's just a little bit hateful, no?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Are you telling me your ancestors are not immigrants?
No, but you just like assume my race, you know? That's like
Are
extremely.
you telling? No, it's not.
It's really hateful, sir.
No, I'm sorry, it's not.
Oh, I appreciate you apologizing. I'm just like
I'm not
extremely offended.
apologizing. I'm
No,
not
you just said you're sorry though.
No, I didn't. I didn't
No,
mean
I mean,
it. I didn't mean it.
Oh, so now you're doubling down on your racism?
This is a waste of time.
Oh, happy April 1st. Oh, you're walking away? Have fun. Enjoy your racism, brother. Thank you.
Before the next one, by the way, shout out to Shaney Rich. I mean, first of all, it takes a lot of just like balls and, presence to do this kind of man on the street stuff. And obviously he is super informed and he's so quick on his feet. I love it. Now, let's take a look at what happens when a white liberal is claiming that 90% of black people will be voting for Biden, and then he's confronted by a black person that tells him otherwise.
You think this person would vote for Trump or Biden?
I would say Biden,
Biden?
without a doubt.
Why?
Without a doubt, that might be actual racial stereotypes that may or may not be accurate that he's got in his head.
Well, because the black vote is 90% for Biden, at least.
Merton.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Because I feel like Trump is more of a real person. He relates more to ordinary people.
So you said earlier that 90% of black people will vote for Biden. Merton, is that accurate?
No, they won't.
Trump
See,
is a racist.
you don't think I experience racism?
No.
What? I said you don't think I ever experienced racism?
Oh, he's in a bad place right now.
just keep digging, dude. Just keep digging.
You should just say, "Oh man, I assume wrongly," I stereotype. That's
Like,
all.
I'm sorry, bro. I misunderstood.
I'm giving you a way out, man. You just have to admit you were wrong.
I was wrong. I made a mistake.
It's okay. It's okay. We make mistakes.
I mean, for crying out loud, the dude's wearing camo. How do you get that wrong?
Yeah. Good point. That's crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I got a
Your
question.
whole life, I'm sure.
Now I got another question. So you don't think I would know what a racist is?
Well, me as a white guy would know what a racist is. Maybe because he is one. Now, this next one's special because he's accusing Donald Trump of committing the crimes that actually Hunter Biden committed. The special thing about this is the guy in this video catches on to what Shaney Rich is doing. The woman was clueless the whole time, yet Shaney Rich still gets him to be a hypocrite out loud. It's pretty cool. Take a look.
Donald Trump Jr. actually just caught 9 felonies and got indicted, never paid taxes. And that was Trump's son, Trump Jr.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
It doesn't surprise me, but that's pretty messed up.
I think I know what you're doing here. I believe those were things that Hunter Biden did, correct?
So that's an informed guy. He gets a point for that.
It was Hunter Biden.
The lady, by the way, very uninformed. She loses a point.
Yeah, no, I've seen some headlines about that, and
It doesn't affect how I feel about a Biden presidency.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you agreed it was pretty evil. I would think that you wouldn't want.
I'm not voting for Hunter Biden. I'm voting for Joe Biden.
But they also are business partners and live in the same house. You don't think Biden was aware that his son evaded taxes? And, Joe Biden always says we're going to tax the rich. His son never paid taxes. Doesn't that seem a little bit contradicting?
whatever we can do in terms of finding people who will get the job done and not wreck our democracy, I think I'm happy to cast my vote for them.
Yeah,
same.
Because I feel like Biden's already a dictator. He's already wrecked our democracy. Biden.
Well,
I disagree.
It's the third time
How do
they've
you
said
disagree
that
though?
word.
I'm just wondering.
Well, you're the one making the statement. I'd like to hear why you think that.
Because he gave his leading candidate 4 indictments, and he raided his home and weaponized the DOJ and the FBI to go after his leading candidate, who's leading in the polls by a lot. To me, that's just like, let the people decide. Why would you want?
Oh, I love this. This is so great.
and let's keep in mind that's the third time they've said that. Democracy.
I think we have a video about that next. Yeah.
Who's leading in the polls by a lot. To me, that's just like, let the people decide. Why would you want the DOJ and FBI that you're running weaponize them and have them decide, you know?
Dude, she is like, I need to look at my boyfriend to learn what I think on this issue. Please say it for me.
That seems a little authoritarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have time to stand here and draw lines in the sand with you. So,
Yeah.
So you guys you're walking away? Why you leave though?
Brilliant. I love it. Exposing hypocrisy while having a good time doing it, at least giving us some laughs. So again, Shaney Rich, check him out on Instagram, Twitter, all the places. I love his stuff. And thank you, my freedom-loving friend, for watching this video with me.
That was great, man. That was great. I love that.
I thought you might appreciate that. That
was
a good one.
That was intentional too.
And like I said, you know, you get these guys and they just talk themselves into a hole, and they just keep digging and digging and digging and digging.
Yeah.
Even when they're confronted with the truth, they just don't know when to stop digging.
Well, they didn't realize that they were in this much trouble. They've been exposing themselves to the whole thing. So after you're done dig so much, it's like, even when the truth come out, it's like, it's too late to turn away from it now, you know. It's a shaming kind of thing.